Imagine going into surgery knowing that your doctor has access to the world's most elite medical minds at the push of a button. That may be in the not so distant future thanks to artificial intelligence tool that was created by a Toronto surgeon, Dr. Amin Madani. Dr. Madani is joining us this morning. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
This is fascinating. The AI program that you created is a prototype for now, but can you explain to us how it works?
Yeah, so I guess I'll take the gallbladder operation because that's what we developed it for. But typically the way it works is we make these keyhole incisions and then we put in a camera inside, let's say the abdomen, and then on a monitor we can see the surgical field, and then we do the operation while watching the surgical field that way. And now that's a normal surgery. The way the AI works is that while you're watching the video stream, it actually analyzes all the little pixels on the screen, and then it's able to tell you, you see this area right here, this is the safe area to dissect. This is where you want to cut. This area right there, this is the area you want to stay away from. This is where you can cause a complication. And it does that in real time. And so it's a system that's designed in a way to provide assistance to surgeons, sort of like a second pair of eyes, if you will, sort of like your Google Maps while you're driving, but for surgery.
That's funny. How would this reduce complications, both before and after?
Well, we haven't actually gotten to the point where we can actually demonstrate the value for patients where it actually shows that it decreases complication. We're still in a prototype and research phase. However, the idea is that while you're doing surgery, you have this guidance and navigation tool that provides you with assistance and augments your performance as a surgeon, so you can avoid getting into wrong areas, for instance, and causing those errors from happening.
The concern with AI is always that, trusting a program over instincts that are gained through experience, might not be the best option. What do you see as some of the risks?
Oh, absolutely. I think before we can implement this, just like any other technology, it has to go through a very robust methodology of validation first. This was really the first step. We really wanted to do a proof of concept that demonstrates that the algorithm is able to replicate the thought processes of a panel of expert surgeons, and we're able to show that it does that to a really high degree of accuracy. Now, the next step would be to implement that in the operating room, see if it actually demonstrates an improvement in performance. Does it improve the educational value? Does it decrease complication risks? And these are the things that we actually want to show, because at the end of the day, it has to have value for the patient. Otherwise, it's just an piece of hardware or software that that is expensive.
I want to talk about applications for a second, but also with AI always comes the issue of the computer creates an algorithm based on what it's fed. So do you feed complicated surgeries or surgeries that may be atypical into the system as well?
Absolutely, that's a great question, and yes, it's the AI is sort of like like a little child, if you will. You want to give it as many different examples as possible, so that when it sees a new case that it's never seen before, it can go back to its library and say, hey, you know what? I've seen a case like this before, and make an accurate prediction. So part of the algorithm is that you want to train it on a very wide breadth of data on cases from different demographics from all over the world, complex cases, easy cases, and so on, so that it can be as good as possible, so that when it's in a scenario that it's never seen before, it can actually make good predictions.
Last question, you created this. This is sort of your vision and your dream. Where do you see the applications for this going? Where would you like to see it used?
Well, I just want to firstly say it wasn't just me. It was also, there's an entire team of people and computer scientists from all over the world who's helped doing this. But I think the vision here is that, this is really where the power of AI is possible, is when you look at the data, the people who are most disproportionately affected by surgical complications are people in rural settings, developing countries, places that don't have access to surgical care. So we've developed now a tool that is able to capture the minds and the thought processes of not just one expert surgeon, but a panel of expert surgeons. So we can actually disseminate that into every operating room around the world. So that's really the vision behind where we're trying to go. So if I'm a surgeon operating in a remote region and I'm doing a difficult case, it's not just me by myself anymore. It's like standing over my shoulder. I've got a panel of expert surgeons from around the world guiding me, navigating me, and assisting me. And it's this way of democratizing surgical care. That's really the vision that we all have.
I love it. Dr. Madani, thanks for joining us this morning. Fascinating stuff.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.